This video is a quick definition of challenge zone, and the challenge zone is something we're going to talk about a lot in the class, so a good idea to explore that. A challenge zone is the place where the challenge of the task that you're trying to do just slightly exceeds your ability to do that. So that if you had a task, for example, playing the open strings, if you were able to do that immediately, first time we read it through, probably not in your challenge zone. Whereas if you took a few minutes to learn it, it might be just that challenge you need so that you're learning. Here's a slightly longer example, and as many of you know, I like to cycle a lot, and for me, I've been cycling for quite a long time, and I'm a fairly decent amateur cyclist. So for me to go out for a bike ride with my mom, it's a nice social thing, but in terms of actually challenging my physical ability, it's a little too slow. Whereas if I were to bike in a cycle in the Tour de France, I would be quickly left behind, and I wouldn't feel great about that. Whereas I've been doing a few triathlons and amateur triathlons, and I find that that's the right challenge zone for me, somewhere in the middle. Now, it's important to know that the challenge zone changes over time, and it can change day to day, hour to hour. It also changes based on your experience. So some people in the class have played piano before and some other instruments, and those students may in fact have a larger challenge zone or be able to be challenged a little bit more with the material because they've had that experience. They know what it's like to have a piece that, okay, I didn't get this today or this week or even this month. It's going to take a long time, and they tend to be a little bit more patient with that journey. It's also important to have a diversity of within your challenge zone. All right, so if we're going to look at the picture here, okay, it's actually a good thing to have a little bit of all three of these. So it is good to have sometimes a piece that's a little too easy for you, and then maybe it will return your focus to something that you've maybe let slip. For example, are you playing slightly out of tune? Obviously, you want to spend most of the time in the challenge zone, okay? And it's also good sometimes to be in the panic zone where you're like, this is too hard for me. So that you have an opportunity to expand your challenge zone too. Maybe, for example, this turns into the comfort zone after a while. And if you haven't been trying to even push beyond that, you would see that, okay, in fact, this is not my challenge zone anymore. It's actually expanded. So please take a second to fill out the questions you see there below.